Welcome to Simple Plus, where we are transcending chiropractic. I'm John McGuire, and we're still in the series on patients. And today we're going to cover the topic of community outreach by Dr. William Kriva. This is a unique marketing approach that will really benefit your community. So let's get started.
And I'd like to take a few minutes to talk with you today about community outreach as it applies to chiropractic practice. I think you'd probably agree with me that most people out there don't know what we really do as chiropractors. They don't know what types of conditions we can help. They don't know how chiropractic works. Or if they think they do very frequently, I think you'd agree with me, they have it wrong. They really don't know the truth about chiropractic. I think you'd also probably agree with me that they're not going to learn about what we do by watching drug commercials on TV or by talking to their family medical doctor. So the only way that people are going to learn about chiropractic and about what we may be able to do to help them is for us to reach out into the community and contact folks. Now, there's a lot of different ways to do that. You can do print advertising and you can do radio advertising, and certainly web presence, website, or web advertising can be done as well. But one of the things that I've discovered in 23 years of practice, that's true no matter where you practice, whether it's a big city or a small town, is that most people don't want to pick their chiropractor from a print ad or from a radio ad. They want to actually have an interaction with you as the doctor and get to know you a little bit before they decide to come in. Or they'll come in because they're referred by somebody who already has a relationship with you, and therefore they're comfortable coming in to see you. So the ways that you can do community outreach that will get you into the community are, number one, networking, getting outside the office, getting involved in social service organizations, getting involved in the Chamber of Commerce, and being available to go out and meet other people in the community. Another way that you can do it is by doing screenings, spinal screenings. And these have been done very successfully by a lot of chiropractors down through the years. I've used them myself very effectively. And I think they're a fantastic way to go meet folks. But my very favorite, the one that I love doing the most, and the one that I want to spend some time with you today talking about, is doing public speaking, going out and doing health talks in the community. I built two very successful practices on the back of doing health talks. One of the reasons I love doing these things is because they're very efficient. You can go out, do a talk for 45 minutes or do a talk for an hour for a group of people. Maybe it's, 10 people, 20 people, whatever, and end up booking, 4, 5, 6 new patients off of that for a very limited time investment. Second, you really do get involved with the people who come to the talk. You really make a connection with them and have an opportunity to teach them the truth about what we do as chiropractors. And finally, there is no question that once you get doing this, it's a lot of fun. It's a great time. I know some people are afraid of public speaking, but at the end of the day, the more you do, the easier it is. And quite frankly, I haven't known anyone yet who's died from having to get up in front of a group and do a presentation. So if you want to do presentations as part of your community outreach, how do you do them? I get asked this all the time, and I'm going to give you just some basic insights on how these things work. First of all, it is really, really important to have a wonderful introduction for your talk. You want to share something about yourself. You want to share a little bit about your personal background, your journey. How did you end up becoming a chiropractor in the first place, for example? So that the audience gets to know a little bit about you. They get to know your background, and they establish a personal connection with you right away, right at the very beginning. I always know when I'm speaking to a group if I've done a good job with the introduction, because at the beginning, they may be looking all over and taking notes and scribbling and talking to their friend. And by the time I'm done with the intro, I've got everybody's eyes looking at me because they're interested, they're engaged, and they want to hear what comes next. So you want to work on your introduction and make sure that you make a great connection with your audience. The next area is the one that most chiropractors who decide they want to do health talks get all hung up about, and that is, what should I talk about? What should be in the talk? What are the subjects I can cover? How do I do this? So I don't get shot down by the audience. To be quite honest with you, the middle part of a presentation is not that important. It's information that you're there to convey, but it's not the critical piece to getting people in your office and under chiropractic care. There can be all kinds of subjects. People always ask me, what do I talk about? And some of the most popular ones I've had, managing stress naturally. That applies everywhere, whether you're talking to a company, a business, whether you're talking to a group of mothers who've got young kids at home, whether you're talking to nursing assistants who work in a nursing home. Bottom line, everybody has stress. Another one that's been very popular that fits being a chiropractor is how to protect your back while. Now, I say while because I've done this talk is how to protect your back in the workplace, how to protect your back while gardening, how to protect your back at home, how to protect your back while fishing. Yes, fishing, believe it or not. I was asked to do that. You can talk about sleep. You can talk about herbal supplements. You can talk about a whole variety of different subjects. The key here is the material that you present needs to be accurate. It needs to be factual. You really should have the citations for what you're talking about so that people know where the information came from. And therefore, you've got the citation to back up what you're talking about. I also very strongly encourage you to weave chiropractic into the body of the talk. Whatever the subject is, chiropractic adjustments are critically important to that particular subject, whatever it is that you're talking about, whether it's sleep or stress management or protecting your back, whatever it happens to be, the chiropractic message needs to be woven in. And finally, the last part of a presentation, the part that is absolutely the most critical, is the close. I've shared this story many times, but when I first got into practice, I was asked by a local company that made pre-stressed concrete forms to come and do a talk for all of their employees, 120 people, on how to protect your back while working. These folks are pouring concrete all day long. They're working with rebar. It's hard work. And so I went and did the presentation as they asked, and they loved it. They were so happy with that presentation that they asked me to come back and do it again the following year. Every year they had a health fair in the spring. So I went back the second year, same group of people, same exact presentation. They loved it. They thought it was fantastic. They asked me to come back the next year and do it again. You want to take a guess as to how many new patients I got from the first 2 talks that I gave? 0. Why? Because the talk was awesome. The contents were beautiful. I never closed the talk. I had learned by the third time around that that was essential if you want to be productive with the talk. The third time around, I closed the talk, and I ended up with 60, not 16, 60 new patients that signed up, half the people in attendance that signed up to come in as a patient in the office. That's how critically important the close is. So make sure that you have a good close. There's a lot of different ways to close talks that are effective, but you have to make an invitation to the audience to come in and see you, to accept that invitation so that they can have their problem evaluated. If you do this properly, you are going to have a ball educating your community, changing the mindset in your community, educating people about what you do as a chiropractor. You're going to have pre-qualified, excited patients that are happy to come in and see you, and you literally can build your practice on this tool all by itself if you do it properly. I've done, as I said, 2 practices very successful from scratch, basically using this method because it's very efficient. And have had a lot of fun doing it down through the years. So bottom line, I hope that my taking a few minutes to talk with you here today has been helpful for you. I also want to encourage you, please go out, tell the chiropractic message, tell the story, get this information out into the community because people aren't going to get it anywhere else. And right now, there are people out there who need what you have to offer, who don't know that you're the answer to their problem because they've never had an opportunity to meet you. So go do it. Have fun with it. Community outreach is important. I hope this helps. I hope you have a great rest of the day.
Thanks for joining us today. As a reminder, we've got regular webinars that go into even more details on these topics. Check the description for more ways to get our content and sign up. If you'd like for more information about Simple Plus and how it may help your practice, you can always reach out to us by going to our website, which is www.mysimpleplus.com. Be sure to spell out the word plus, mysimpleplus.com. Look forward to hearing from you.